Hi again, everybody. This is Joseph, and again, continuing identifying components under the hood. Last time I explained to you about ignition control modules and all these things. How do you know what is electrical, what is a vacuum hose? How do you know what is a brake line? How do you know all these things? And we discussed last time how to identify sensors and where to find sensors. As I explained last time, this is the ignition control module. You see here 4 wires. This is the ignition control module. You can use this for ground, metal for ground. This is the ignition coil. This goes to the distributor. The spark is created here by the transistor that's being turned on and off to create a spark. And I discussed this in the primary. When you turn off the transistor, you're turning off the magnetic field, which collapses. In the secondary, it creates a spark. That spark goes to the distributor. The timing of it is all computerized, as I described in my other videos. Now, also to keep in mind, if you want to know, again, where do these computerized or module, where does it go to? Remember, it goes to the computer, the PCM. Remember, the PCM, as we explained, is right here. How do I know it's the PCM? There's a bunch of connectors going in here. Then I know it's the PCM. It has a heat shield. Then I know it's the PCM. It does not go to the body control module, because the body control module contains things with lighting and doors and things like that, with accessories. Anything that has to do with engine performance goes to the PCM. Remember that, the computer. ECM it's called for Toyotas, ECU, PCM, same animal. So, like I said before, this is the map sensor, right? It tells you vacuum, engine load. It tells you all these things to the computer, how much vacuum is, and we discussed it, that there's atmospheric pressure, there's manifold of vacuum, and it tells the computer how much it is, so that the air-fuel ratio can be adjusted, not just from that sensor, but from other sensors that I discussed. This is a wiring harness. How do you know? Well, you see this? It branches off, and it goes here to this connector. Therefore, this is the harness. There's a lot of wires in here. Okay? Just like this. See this? When you follow the wire, it goes to this harness. This is the electrical wiring. That's how you know. Always try to follow back where it's coming from. If it's a hose, if it's electrical wiring, always work your way back. Like I said before, I look at these hoses over here. This is coming from the air pump. All these things are coming from the air pump, and let me try to get a good video of it. Now, as you see over here, this is going to the heater core. 2 wires over there. That's a distributor. Right there is a distributor. This is a 6-cylinder. So obviously you're going to have 6 wires going to the distributor, coming out, and 1 coming in from the ignition coil. Here's the heater wires that I was telling you about, going to the heater core to give you heat, almost like a radiator, to dissipate heat in the cabin. How do I know? You follow the wires. See the type of wires it is, and you feel it. If you put your hand here, you see it gets hot. So you know it has to do something with heat. Just like I discussed before, the upper radiator hose, which is right here, has to get, once the thermostat starts to open, it gets hot. That's how you know that the thermostat is opening. So if you ever have problems about coolant or overheating, make sure that the thermostat is opening. The thermostat is opening, and you can tell by it'll get warm. At first it's cold, then it'll get warm. So squeeze it. Make sure it's not too hard, too soft. That's how you know, and that's how you follow things. The cable. This comes from, as we see the cable. Follow it back. Goes to the pedal, the gas pedal. Always follow. If you're not sure, follow the things where it comes from. The throttle body, and I'm going to take off all these accessories so you can see the throttle body. Central sequential fuel injection for Chevys when I worked there. Therefore, once you open it, you activate. You can activate it by hand. Not a good picture, but see, once I turn it, I'm opening the throttle. I'm simulating my foot on the pedal. You don't have to put your foot on the pedal. You just turn on the ignition, the engine. You take this, you open it all the way. It's full throttle open. You're letting air in. Remember, this is the compressor. You have a high pressure side, you have a low pressure side. How do you know which is which? You follow it. You follow it. Where does this go? I follow this one. I follow this one. I follow this one. Goes to the condenser. That means it's the high pressure side. It's vapor. Vapor goes into the compressor. And vapor comes out. After it goes to the condenser, it's liquid. That's what Freon is. It's a liquid, and then it's changed into, at high temperatures, it's changed to a vapor. So you can compress it. You can compress a vapor. You can't compress a liquid. The other side is the low side. The low side will be lower temperature. How do you know? You follow it. And the high pressure side is usually smaller also. The lower pressure side is fatter, wider. And that's how you follow it. Like we said over here. Air chamber, how do I know to find mass airflow sensor? You look for, right here, you look for the air chamber. You're looking for 3 wires. 3 wires, this has to be it. This has to be a harness. How do I know? Because part of the connector goes to, part of the wiring goes to a connector. This is the air temperature sensor, IAT sensor. That's how you know. Mass airflow sensor, 3 wires by the air chamber, must be the mass airflow sensor. 2 wires, I'm looking for intake air temperature sensor. That's how I know. That's how you identify parts. An electrical harness goes to it, must be a sensor. Where does it go to? PCM. How do I know? Because it has to do with engine performance. Back there, behind the master cylinder, is the vacuum booster. Right? Therefore, I'll go over and I'll identify more parts on more videos. As you can see, now you get a better look at it. See? How do I know what this is? Well, the thermostat is in there. How do I know? Because I follow it. And it goes to down, if you would follow it, goes to the water pump. And then it goes to upper radiator hose. So that must be the water pump, and that must be the thermostat. Follow it. And that's what I was trying to convey. How do I know what this is? This is the accumulator, which is for air conditioning. So therefore, I want to make more videos, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you can identify parts a little more easier after this. It was helpful. Please subscribe to my channel, Automotive Electronics Schematics by Joseph. And there's a lot more schematics. Thank you to all the viewers to be making it more successful now. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am truly blessed. Thank you.